Hey guys, Horror Man back for another review. So today we're going to take a look at the 2017 Pennywise retro figure. Now this is made by NECA Toys and it's part of their ongoing line of cloth style figures. So this is based off that 2017 movie and it's probably going to be the last 2017 Pennywise figure from NECA. So just taking a look at the packaging here, it just has that boxed packaging like we see with some of the releases. Some of the other ones we've seen with blister cards and like original art. But this is in that boxed packaging. At the top it just says, "You'll float too." And then you can see a picture of Georgie with the balloon and Pennywise on the right side. Just says "It" real big in blood red letters. And you can clearly see Pennywise displayed in the box. Over to the side you just get the "It" letters at the top here. And then at the bottom you do see a picture of the Pennywise figure. And then of course it does wrap around just a little bit from the front to the side. And then over to the back of the box, again you get that "It" logo. It does give you a brief description of the movie. And then you have a clear picture of the figure itself holding the red balloon. And at the bottom it just says that it includes the red balloon. Not much on the bottom of the box, just has the usual logos, UPC code, and it just gives you a description of who is responsible for the sculpt, product development, and things like that. So I'm pretty excited for this review because NECA has made a ton of Pennywise figures, so I'm interested to see how this one's going to compare. I really do like the look of the head sculpts, and that pretty much drew me to the figure. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box and get a closer look. Alright, so here he is outside of the packaging. Now first and foremost you do get a backdrop with this, and it's got that really reddish background, kind of nightmare look to it. It's not a bad backdrop, but I still like the house a little bit better. But yeah, it's not too bad, so if you want to display your Pennywise with the backdrop, you could do that, or you could just use it for some pictures. Alright, so starting with the head sculpt. This is the head sculpt you get right out of the box, which is that smiling head sculpt. And man, I really like this one. This is probably my favorite of the two. Now this looks to be the head sculpt that came with the quarter scale, which is extremely good head sculpt in my opinion. But yeah, you can see he's got that big smiling face. I like that the lines, like for the makeup, didn't go too high into the forehead, so it looks pretty good. I really like that you can see those buck teeth, like clearly see the buck teeth, so I really think that's done excellent. And the eyes are done really well. He's just got those creepy eyes. Now he doesn't have the blue eyes like we've seen with like some of the smiling head sculpts, but overall I just really like this. I mean, you got the cracks in the forehead, just the lightness of Skarsgård is just really noticeably there. And just like the other NECA figures, I mean, the hair is done really well. You can see how it's kind of combed up in the back. So yeah, all around, I mean, the hair looks pretty good on this. I do like how they got that. And I like the color of it. So it looks great. So just like most all the other Pennywise figures, you will get a little bit of a different head sculpt to display him with, just in case you don't want the smiling head sculpt. And you basically get this angry head sculpt, which, just like this other one, looks extremely good. The eyes, the teeth, I mean, looking really good. So you can interchange these. To interchange the head sculpts, you're just going to want to pop this one off. Now, it is a bit of a firm grip, and the little collar thing might pop off on you when you pop that. Alright, so it is a bit hard to get that head sculpt on, but once you get it on there, this is what you have, and this is a really cool head sculpt, man. So you got the angry face with the teeth opening. Looks like he's getting ready to bite an arm off or something like that. But yeah, you got, again, the eyes look really good. Like I said with the other ones, I like how the lines don't go too far into the forehead. It does look really nice, and I do like the teeth. Alright, so looking at the rest of the figure, just the detail in the outfit overall, it is a really well tailored outfit. So if you just look at the collar, you got that nice layered collar there, and it's got the wrinkles in it, just like you see in the movie. You do have like the puffy shoulders on each side. There's a little bit of stitching in there to kind of give it a little bit more detail. With the arms, you can see you've got some like pleats going down. You've got pleats all through the torso area, and then of course you have his little belt, and then you have the little pom-poms. So you got 3 of the pom-poms on the front, and then again you got that kind of like skirted piece. And the one problem I do have is this piece here kind of bunches up a little bit, so I've really tried to kind of get that to look like the back of the picture. It's a little tough, but with some effort you can try to get this skirt piece to look a little bit more like puffed out. And then down to the legs, again you have all these little like pleats put in there, and then you have the same as the belt, you have like the red and white right around the ankles there, so that looks pretty good. And then the feet are just going to be sculpted, so the pom-poms on the toes are plastic. And then over to the back of the figure, it's not quite as impressive, of course, because it is that retro style, so you are going to see like the little Velcro pieces like on the belt and on the collar, and then you can also see them just on the bottom of that like skirted piece, and you can see how it does kind of bunch up just a little bit in the back, so that's kind of annoying. And then some of the pleats like aren't perfect on the bottom. You can kind of, fix this up just a little bit. Now the one thing I'll warn you is if you have like a loose string on here, most of them you could probably just pull off, but one of them down here on mine was really bad, and I pulled it and I actually kind of ruined part of this back part. It kind of like pulled up just a little bit. It's just a small thing, but just be careful if you're just pulling strings off, as it might actually tear into part of the outfit. But I still think overall it's a really nice looking tailored outfit, especially for the size. And I don't know, something about this like cloth style Pennywise seems to fit better with the character as opposed to the all plastic format. So, even with just a little bit of the fitting flaws, I still think it's a really, really nice looking outfit. Alright, so you do get some articulation with these retro figures, and it does seem to get a little bit better as NECA makes more and more of these. So just starting with the head sculpt here, you can get some nice angles to the head, so you can get a little bit of character for your Pennywise, so you can kind of tilt his head to the left, to the right. He can actually look up pretty far, which is nice. And he can look down a little bit, which is good because he's huge. I don't know if you know, Bill Skarsgård is way over 6 feet, so he's actually a pretty big guy. But yeah, he could look up pretty good and look down, so that's great. The arms can come out pretty far. No issues there, so if you want to give him a little dance or something like that. He can bend his elbows a decent amount, which is nice. So if you want to kind of get him in that creepy monster pose, you should have no problem with that. Now the arms don't go up a lot, but they will go up and they'll go down nice and far, so that's good. So yeah, not too bad range in the arms, so you can get some nice scary poses. He does have waist articulations a little bit, at least, like the ab crunch type of area, so he can go back, and he can actually look down really far, so that's pretty good. He can tilt his body a little bit, so that's pretty good. You can actually twist the body as well, so that's pretty good. Really getting these nice creepy poses out of this, which is what I was really hoping for. Leg goes out pretty far, considering he's got that big outfit. Single jointed knee. The feet can tilt down pretty good. Not much at all for up. And looks like he's got a little...
What you want, your balloon, Georgie?
Now I've already shown you the interchangeable head, which is one of the pieces you get with Pennywise, and the only other thing you get with him is the balloon. Now when you get it, it's actually already in the hand, which is great, because sometimes it's hard to get that little string through the hand. And the balloon's a nice accessory. I think you could have got a little bit more, but yeah, you just get the one balloon, and you can kind of move this up and down depending on how far you want to take it. But yeah, it's pretty good for the most part. I mean, if you want to try to get like a little creepy pose out of it, you can. But the problem is the balloon is so heavy that it tends to want to kind of fall down a little bit. So as much as I like getting the balloon, it kind of seems like it's just a hard accessory to work with. For the first comparison, here he is next to the original NECA 2017 Ultimate Pennywise and then the Well House 2017 Pennywise. Now, this one, of course, is the first one NECA made, and then the Well House, I believe, was like the second or third one they made. But you can see there's definitely, obviously, a scale difference. These are 7-inch, and this is the more 8-inch retro line. But it's not just that. Like, if you look at that head sculpt, this is undeniably better than the other two. And I really do think that cloth outfit really kind of accents this figure just all that much more. I mean, something about this outfit just really brings the character to life. For the next comparison, here he is next to the Ultimate 1990 Pennywise, also made by NECA, and that's actually the version 1. So they actually did make 2 versions of it, and they made a retro version of him as well. And then here he is next to some of the accessories that came with the accessory pack. So you have that little 1990s style doll that was pictured in the 2017 movie, and then also the Jack-in-the-Box from that same movie. And then I also put the SS Georgie in his hand, which came with the Ultimate version 1 of the Pennywise, and it actually fits pretty good. I don't think it's too small for the figure. So if you want to put the SS Georgie in his hands, you can do that. For the next comparison, we'll take a look at some NECA retro figures. Here he is next to the Kevin from Home Alone, and then Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. And you can see Pennywise stands a good bit taller from their Kurt Russell here. And Bill Skarsgård is very tall, like I said, so it makes sense. And if we take out Kevin here and add Jason from Part 6, you can see Pennywise is still a pretty good bit taller than everyone else. For the 6-inch comparison, just sticking with that clown theme, you have the Jared Leto Joker from Suicide Squad, and that's made by Mafex. And then you have the Heath Ledger Joker from The Dark Knight, also made by Mafex. And you can see that they do not scale at all with each other. They're significantly smaller. And for the final comparison, again, this is more of a 6-inch comparison. Here he is with the Mezco 112 Collective, Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. And they are all cloth figures, but as you can see, the NECA cloth line scales way bigger than that Mezco line. So you're not going to be able to mix this in with a Mezco collection, unfortunately. Alright, so that's my review of the 2017 Retro Pennywise by NECA Toys. And overall, I'm very happy with this figure. The best part for me is definitely the head sculpts. I think the head sculpts, especially for this scale, are the best head sculpts NECA's done for Pennywise to date. And the cloth outfit really does kind of help the character come to life. It really reflects what he looked like in the movie, and just that elaborate outfit just make this figure look so much better on the shelf. There really isn't much bad to say about this figure at all. But I will say the only really downfalls I would say to the figure is that the head sculpt, the second head sculpt at least, is a little tough to get on, so the fit isn't perfect. It'll definitely go on, and it'll stay on and still provide great articulation, but it just doesn't have as good a fit as the Happy Face does. And the only other real negative is I would definitely say the accessories are a bit weak. I mean, for 50 bucks, I think one other accessory would have been nice. I honestly would have loved to have had the Deadlights head with a working light. I think for that, if that was provided, that would have definitely have been easily the reason to justify the $50. If you see the strings or anything like that hanging off of the outfit, don't just pull them off. I definitely suggest using scissors to just trim those up a bit, just to make sure you don't pull off some of the outfit. But like I said, I mean, overall, it's a really cool figure. It's definitely intense looking. I really love the head sculpts. The outfit really, like I said, brings the character to life. So I'd highly recommend it. I know it's $50, but it's, to me, probably the best Pennywise figure made to date. So thanks for watching my review. Please like the video if you liked it. Leave a question if you have one. Comment something if you got something to share. And until next time, guys. See ya.